Lauren gets visits from the ghosts of her ex-boyfriends every night leading up to Christmas. They try to explain a pattern in her behavior. She ignores them, and the feelings of her best friend, Nate. Lauren and Nate are best friends and have teamed up for a game night. Susie is terrible at drawing, so her husband, Aaron, can't even guess Jingle Bell Rock in Pictionary. It's Lauren's turn, and she and Nate will be tied with John and Todd if they don't win this round. Nate asks her to not succumb to the pressure. He assures Lauren they can do this. Lauren picks out the Christmas movie category and starts drawing. Within seconds, Nate guesses the movie and they win the game. Nate has already made Christmas game night champion hats for him and Lauren. This is their third year winning this game. Todd and John ask about Lauren's date with a cute chef the other night. Lauren had to cancel because she has been very busy at work in the marketing department. She didn't reschedule the date because the chef doesn't seem her type. He doesn't understand her sense of humor, which even Nate thinks is a deal breaker. The chef didn't respond when Lauren made a joke about French food. Nate laughs at the joke and makes another one to support her. Lauren is glad Nate's selfless work at the community center didn't ruin his competitive edge for game night. He assures Lauren he has already ordered championship hats for next year, loving his enthusiasm. Nate has been running the center for a year now, and he's about to close it with a great Christmas Eve party for foster kids. Nate suggests Lauren can be his +1 for the party and asks if they can grab a drink later. Lauren doesn't want to miss dressing up, and they're always each other's +1s when they're single. He asks if she's still helping him decorate the Christmas tree the next night. Lauren agrees only if there's free pizza involved. Nate wants to say something to her and gets very serious. He changes his mind and teases her about her horrible taste in pepperoni and pineapple topping on a pizza. Lauren's boss, Alice, asks her team if they have heard about Granger Bakeware. Lauren has seen their muffin tins at her dad's place. Alice informs that they're a top-selling bakeware brand in the country. They're experiencing a loss in their sales, so Granger has chosen their marketing team to rebrand. It's a huge account for Alice, and she wants their pitches to be ready by Christmas Eve. She understands it's Christmas, but Granger wants to start their new firm by the new year. She asks the team to submit their pitches, the best of which will be presented to Granger. She also asks them to take Susie's help in the art department if they need visuals. Lauren and Susie rant about the Granger Grinch trying to ruin their Christmas. Susie tries to make Lauren feel better with her specially ordered truffles from Vienna. Susie has made some Christmas card designs for Nate's party. Susie tries to suggest that Lauren should consider Nate. He has the great sense of humor Lauren found missing in the cute chef. Susie also noticed how Nate was looking at Lauren, but Lauren insisted they were just best friends. Lauren gets back to work but realizes she needs to do Christmas shopping with Nate. He is confused about the lights and feels he's terrible as a party planner. Lauren suggests he should go for the clear lights so the ornaments pop more. Nate feels relieved and is excited about each kid getting their personalized card. Lauren assures him they will be ready in time for the party. Lauren asks about Nate's toy drive the next day, and he feels grateful for the teenage volunteers. Nate agrees to get her horrible topping for pizza that night, along with her favorite wine. Lauren doesn't think they should drink in front of teens. Nate clarifies it'll be just the two of them decorating the tree. Lauren suddenly gets awkward and remembers she has a lot of work. She also has plans with her dad that night. Nate understands and assures her it's fine if she doesn't help with the tree. She feels bad for ditching him, but he just doesn't want her to stress about work. Lauren's dad, Leo Kim, hangs the ornaments on the tree with her. His wife, Young, is cooking a delicious meal for them. Leo claims the secret to their happy marriage is that he does the dishes and she cooks. Lauren feels Leo has passed down his lack of culinary skills to her. Lauren spoke to her mom recently, who was on her way to a hiking retreat in Machu Picchu for a month. She is always running off to her new adventure, and Lauren knows she never sticks around. Young loves what they have done with the tree, while Lauren loves her cooking. Leo hopes Nate is joining them for Christmas potluck dinner. Lauren insists she's bringing soju like she does, so they don't have to eat something she cooks. She thanks them for always inviting Nate for the holidays. Young feels bad that Nate never had a family and grew up in foster care. Lauren explains that he is now a social worker, so kids like him get the Christmas he never had. Leo feels Lauren is lucky to have Nate in her life. She clarifies from their suggestion that they're just friends. Nate calls Lauren at night when she's struggling with her pitch. He shows her how well he decorated the tree without her. Lauren admits she has nothing for the pitch since she has no clue about bakeware or baking. Nate knows she has a long night of work ahead, so he has sent over her favorite gingerbread and hot chocolate. Nate remembers this got them through winter finals and encourages her to get back to work. Lauren dozes off on her desk but wakes up to a skating teenager eating her gingerbread. That is not a pretty sight. He gives her a few hints, so she recognizes him as Tyler Mirsky, her first boyfriend. She wonders why he hasn't aged. He explains that he will look exactly like how she last saw him. It doesn't make sense to Lauren why she's seeing him in the first place. She doesn't know how to accept that her high school boyfriend is in her apartment in the middle of the night. He reminds her that she dumped him on winter formal, but she's more eager to know why he's there. Tyler feels it's his duty as her first boyfriend to help her with her dating life. Now that's just sad. He informs her that she will be visited by 3 more ex-boyfriends before Christmas Eve. These boyfriends will help her see a pattern in her past relationships that she has ignored. This is so she can change her behavior before it's too late. She has more questions for Tyler, but she suddenly wakes up. She fills Nate in about her dream with Tyler, who even ate some of the gingerbread. Nate feels she might have dreamt about him because she misses being in a relationship. He points out that it has been a few years since Logan. She asks when he will start dating again. Nate and Amma also broke up a year ago. Nate wants to put dating on hold till he sets up the community center. Since it's finally opening, Lauren wonders what he's waiting for. Nate claims he doesn't want his life to be all about work. Lauren suggests he should put himself out there to meet the right person again. She reminds him about her dad's potluck. He jokes about bringing something so he doesn't have to eat what she makes. Lauren searches for Tyler online and realizes he is a grown man with a family. What a surprise! Susie comes to check if Lauren needs some artwork for her pitch. Lauren has had no luck with it, but Susie is sure she will manage something. Susie has invited Aaron's parents over for the holidays, but they have very high standards for Christmas. Susie doesn't think her house will compare to theirs, but decides to get them some lavish presents. She also asks Lauren to give her a present for the toy drive to Nate. She and Aaron are headed to his office party that night. Lauren finds Nate engaged in a rap battle with the teenagers, Max and Jen. Nate is glad to see her and is grateful for the volunteers and the turnout. He thinks her Big Bear gift is perfect and asks her to grab a table so she can start rapping. Lily drops off a toy and asks Nate about the place. He explains that he's hoping to hire people soon so he can expand. Lily wants to help with the center, so Nate asks her to decorate the town square with them for a fundraiser on Friday. All the proceeds are going towards the Christmas Eve party. Lily is excited to help if she gets the hat he's wearing. He lends it to her, and Lauren seems a little jealous with all the flirting. She asks Nate about Lily, but he assures Lauren her gift is better. Nate asks Lauren to meet the teens, who assume she is his girlfriend. Nate talks about her all the time, but he tries to explain that people talk about many things. Lauren also thinks friends talk about each other all the time but gets distracted by a teenager who looks like Tyler. Lauren has still not thought of a pitch, but Susie is sure she does well under pressure. She pretends she's thinking of something that will make the product appeal to a wider audience. Alice is excited about her pitch, so Lauren decides to not leave the office till she figures it out. Susie feels that's worse because taking a break usually helps with a creative block. Lauren asks her for lunch, but she's supposed to be helping Aaron decorate the house. Lauren calls Nate for lunch and rants about how the brainstorm has led to nothing. She asks Nate to split a Kringle with her and asks him to take a photo. As their hands touch, something becomes obvious to Lauren. She realizes she needs to highlight a daily pattern related to baking in her pitch. Nate seems disappointed that she finally has a good idea. Nate still offers to take her to Mariano's when she gets this marketing account. Lauren has heard Mariano's is romantic since Susie and Aaron went there for their anniversary. Nate pretends he didn't know it was romantic and agrees to a burger and fries meal with her instead. When she's worried about her pitch not working out, he promises to get her boxed wine. Lauren hears someone playing the guitar at night and wonders if she left the television on. She realizes it's another ex-boyfriend from college, Jake. She pinches him to check if he's real. She realizes he looks as young as she knew him from her time. He asks her to follow him, and they get transported to their campus library in junior year. He shows Lauren her younger version sitting at the table, and she realizes she should never get bangs again. That is surely not the point of the visits. At this time, Jake and Lauren have been dating for a month. He brings some homemade Christmas cookies for their study session that his mom sent. He wonders if Lauren's mom has any special traditions. She claims her mom isn't like that. She doesn't like talking about her, and Jake understands. He suggests they should start their tradition of eating Christmas cookies for dinner. They get transported outside the library a year later, in their senior year of college. Jake plays a song for her that she loves. He also shows her the Christmas sweater his mom made, and she has sent one for Lauren too. Jake knows his mom thinks of Lauren as part of the family. Lauren asks him to thank her during winter break, but Jake invites her to his place for Christmas. Lauren feels it's too soon and gets scared when he confesses his love for her. Lauren insists she cares for him, but has a lot on her plate with graduation and looking for jobs. She hurriedly breaks up with him. The present-day Lauren still insists the breakup was because she had a lot on her plate. She wants to go back to sleep, but Jake brings her to her old dorm. Young Nate brings Lauren some gingerbread and hot chocolate to cheer her up after the breakup. Lauren is excited to spend Christmas with her dad, and reminds Nate that holidays aren't for her mom. She feels it's best if she avoids her, since her mom left her dad and her right before Christmas. He discusses how amazing her dad is. Nate remembers how warm he was during his parents' week. Nate has decided to stay on campus for Christmas and doesn't want to impose on his roommate's family. Lauren asks him to come over to her place and feels he needs to experience the Kim family Christmas potluck. Jake reminds her that she shut him out when he asked about her mom. Lauren doesn't like that he's suggesting something to Nate and insists he is her best friend. Of course he is. Lauren discusses with Nate how weird it is to dream about 2 ex-boyfriends in a row. She asks what Nate thought of Jake, but he claims to not remember the details. He still remembers that Lauren was holding back in the relationship. Lauren admits she stalked Jake online and found that he is engaged and doing great with his music career. Nate has to leave, but he reminds her about the town square decorations that night. Lauren pretends she forgot it, but assures him it's in her calendar. Lauren asks Susie for some artwork for her new idea. Susie feels bad because someone else already submitted it to the art department. Lauren tries to not panic about the fact that she's back to square one. She assures herself she can come up with another idea. Lauren feels she needs to get into the mind of someone who loves baking. She finds Young baking in the kitchen. Young admits she started baking because her mother taught her. They always used to bake at Christmas, and she has amazing memories of her. Lauren admits she never had that with her mom, and Young feels it's sad she associates Christmas with her mother leaving. Lauren feels glad her dad found Young because they seem perfect for each other. Lauren claims there's no one special in her life, but Young asks her to be open to the idea. Leo conveniently shows up when the baked goods are ready and helps clean the kitchen by eating some. Everyone helps Nate with the town square decorations, and he happily lights the Christmas tree. He thanks them for their efforts, and they all meet him. Lily thanks Nate for letting her volunteer. Nate is just excited they will meet their fundraising goal. Lily asks Nate out for coffee after New Year and claims she wants to hear his plans for the community center. She even gives him her number to set something up. Lauren teases Nate about having a date and is sure Lily is flirting with him. She suggests he should take her to Mariano's. He wonders why she cares so much. Lauren pretends she doesn't care and just wants him to be happy. She goes off to sleep hoping she can, but wakes up at 2 in the morning again to find Henry in her living room. She asks if he can briefly give her his lesson, but Henry insists he needs to show her something. Henry takes her to his apartment in the past. It's their second Christmas as a couple, and they're hosting their first dinner party for their friends. This reminds Lauren that Henry was her first boyfriend after college. She just got her marketing job and was feeling like an adult. Henry admits this was the first time he thought she could be the one. In the past, Henry suggests he wants to redesign his closet if she moves in with him. Lauren feels awkward about it and gets saved by the doorbell. Divya thanks Lauren for the invitation, and Nate gives her a present for the tree. Lauren admits Henry asked her to move in with him, and she feels it's too soon. Lauren still thinks Henry was trying to rush things, but Henry knows she is afraid to take the next step. He brings her to the day they ice skated a few days after the dinner party. Henry asks if she has thought about moving in, and young Lauren admits she's not ready. Henry asks when she will be ready because he loves her. Lauren claims she doesn't see a future with him and tries to skate away. Henry asks her to think about the suddenness of the breakup when they never had problems in their relationship. He also shows her that she immediately called Nate after the breakup. Lauren doesn't think there's anything wrong with calling her best friend. Henry hopes she figures out why she's resisting Nate soon. Susie remembers Lauren's breakup with Henry and is surprised since they were great together. They're working on gingerbread houses and making the house look a lot Christmassy for her in-laws. Susie thinks her dreams are trying to tell her that she has commitment issues. She is worried about Lauren because she hasn't dated anyone since Logan. Lauren insists she hasn't met the right person. Susie doesn't understand why she doesn't consider Nate. She feels it's obvious he has feelings for Lauren, but she can't risk hurting him. They all celebrate Christmas at the market, and Nate joins them at the photo booth. Nate feels Lauren has a serious hot chocolate addiction problem. He suggests riding a sleigh and convinces Lauren that it'll be fun. Lauren congratulates Nate for bringing the town together, and he's just excited they've raised enough money for a great Christmas Eve party. Lauren offers to bring the Christmas cards for the stockings that Susie designed. He asks Lauren about work, which is still a tight end for her. She hopes for a Christmas miracle and almost falls on Nate. He doesn't think she needs a miracle because she pours her heart into everything she does. They share a moment, so Nate tries to tell her something. Lauren interrupts him again, because she realizes baking is about the heart and not the technical aspects of what he said. She knows her pitch has to be about bake your heart out, and thanks him for the idea. When their carriage ride ends, she rushes out to start working on her pitch. Lauren is glad to finally wake up from a good night's sleep without any ex-boyfriend visits. She informs Susie that she stayed up late working on her pitch, and turned it in last minute. Alice is impressed with all their hard work, and announces that Lauren's pitch will be presented to Granger the next day. Susie congratulates Lauren, who is relieved she can finally relax after this pitch is done. Susie teases Lauren about enjoying her carriage ride with Nate the other night. Lauren feels it was great till Nate was about to confess his feelings. She clarifies that she can't risk hurting Nate, but Susie wonders if she's afraid of getting hurt herself. Lauren insists they're not right for each other, and feels Nate also has Lily as an option. Lauren feels Nate is a great catch. He's smart, funny, and the kind of friend she can always count on. She clarifies she's listing these amazing qualities to prove that Lily would be lucky to have him in her life. Alice asks if Lauren is ready for the pitch, but she is thinking of adding some visual aids. She wants to include some photos that show people's love for baking and how it brings them together. Susie is also happy to help with the visuals, so Alice is sure they'll have a winning pitch. Lauren asks Leo and Young to pose for her with cake, and notices Young's new ring. Leo has given her an early Christmas present, which tears Lauren up. Nate is working hard at the community center, and texts Lauren to ask if she's coming that night. Susie hands over the graphics for the pitch to Lauren before she heads out. Aaron's dad has sprained his ankle, so they're flying to North Carolina to see him instead. She reminds Lauren to take the Christmas cards that she dropped off. Lauren realizes she was so busy with the pitch that she forgot she had to help Nate. She was supposed to be with him hours ago, so she ran to him. She finds Nate coming out of the community center and hands over the cards. She explains about her pitch getting selected, but Nate seems irritated. Lauren apologizes, but Nate feels she could have responded to a text. Lauren assures him she didn't check her phone and just forgot by mistake. She starts making excuses, but he points out he always prioritizes their friendship, even if he's busy. Nate understands that she's putting up walls again because she doesn't want to hear what he has to say. He still confesses that he's in love with her, so Lauren doesn't know how to respond. Nate assumes she doesn't feel the same way, and thinks he deserves better. He cancels Christmas with her, and asks her to apologize to Leo and Young. Lauren tries to stay up on the couch that night but wakes up to snowflakes falling on her. Logan has visited her, so Lauren decides to get her coat. She knows he won't take her somewhere warm, and they do end up in the middle of nowhere. Lauren recognizes this as the spot where he got her for the zip line and a mulled wine event before Christmas. The past Lauren is freaking out about this adventure, so Logan asks her to trust him. The present Logan realizes he should have known she wasn't an outdoorsy person. Lauren admits he brought out her adventurous side, especially during their trip to Iceland. In the past, Lauren is ready to leap since she knows she might regret missing out on an experience. She soon changes her mind, so Logan asks her to close her eyes. He asks her to visualize how freeing it would be to zoom down the zip line. He shows her a ring box when she opens her eyes and asks her to marry him. That's not ending well. Lauren admits she's not ready to marry, but Logan thinks she's just scared. They have been together for almost 3 years, and he asks when she will be ready. Lauren doesn't know when, but Logan admits he loves her. He drops the ring box in panic, and even accidentally zip lines. Lauren hopes Logan knows she did love him. Lauren wakes up knowing her ex-boyfriend's visits are over, but she finds all of them in her living room. That's the worst kind of nightmare. They ask what she has learned from this experience. Lauren realizes she ended the relationship whenever things got serious with all of them. They remind her about the timing of the breakups, because all of them happened close to Christmas. They know this time is a trigger for her, so Lauren apologizes for hurting them. She also asks what Tyler meant when he said she needs to change her ways before it's too late. They all bring her to Mariano's in the future, where she refuses to go with Nate. They explain that in the future, Nate ends up at the restaurant with Lily. Since she pushed him away, Nate gets down on one knee and asks Lily to marry him. Lauren is offended because she's his best friend, and doesn't understand how they can get engaged when he loves her. All her ex-boyfriends remind her about how many times she has blown off Nate. She wonders if this is what Tyler meant about being too late, but she wakes up for real. Lauren discusses her past relationships with Leo, and how none of them worked out because of her. She understands that she panicked each time, so she could save herself from the hurt she felt when her mom left them. Leo understands how she feels because he felt like that for a long time. He did eventually realize that he didn't have to stay heartbroken forever. When he met Young, all the pain from her mom became a distant memory. Leo admits he doesn't regret loving her mom because it was worth it since he ended up with Lauren. Leo feels Lauren also deserves the kind of happiness he gets with Young. Lauren makes her pitch to Granger Bakeware. She focuses on how baking brings people together. They're impressed with her pitch till a photo of her and Nate comes up. Lauren talks about how baking needs to show that people appreciate each other. Nate's photo reminds her that she should have been there for him and that she loves him. Lauren leaves in the middle of the pitch and turns up at Nate's party. He remembers she's supposed to be at work, so she admits she left in the middle for him. She claims she realized he has always been there, and she wants to be there for him too. She doesn't care about losing an account, because she can't lose the love of her life and her best friend. Nate is happy she admitted it and kisses her. Max and Jen tease them about dating, after which they start distributing gifts. 1 year later, Young has made delicious desserts for the Christmas party. Lauren scolds Leo for stealing a rice cake, but Nate defends him. The men pretend they haven't teamed up, but Leo wants Lauren to know that he's a keeper. Nate wants to give Lauren one of her presents earlier and takes her to the tree. He shows her a ring and discusses how lucky he is to have her in his life. When he proposes this time, Lauren agrees to marry him. As everyone celebrates, Lauren notices the shadows of her ex-boyfriends being proud of her.